the BC Aries Net. This is K9OPL Kilo Alpha 9 Oscar Papa Lima. Joe, located in Columbus, Bartholomew County, serving as net control for this session of the BC Aries Net. At this time, is there anyone holding emergency, priority, or welfare traffic? If anyone does need to pass emergency traffic during the net, please alert net control with the pro words break break. I will then assist you with your emergency. Do we have any routine traffic? The BC Aries Net meets every Wednesday beginning at 7:30 p.m. local time on the repeater 146.79 megahertz Columbus Amateur Radio Club 2-meter repeater with a minus offset and a 103.5 hertz tone. The net meets for the purpose of serving as a weekly training session for BC Aries members and to pass information related to amateur radio in and around Bartholomew County. All duly licensed amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to participate. You do not need to be a BC Aries member, nor do you need to bring traffic to the net. It is a directed net, so please direct all communications through net control. Once again, net control this evening is Kilo Alpha 9, Oscar Papa Lima. My name is Joe, located in Columbus, Bartholomew County. This time, do we have any announcements for the net? Please call net control. No announcements. We will begin to take check-ins this evening. Check-ins are handled by order of call sign suffix. When I call the alphabet range for your call sign, please check in at that time. Check in with your name, your call sign using plain English as well as standard ITU phonetics, and your county. So I'll begin by taking check-ins, suffixes beginning with the letters Alpha through Lima. Alpha through Lima only, please.
Kilo Golf, Niner, Delta Kilo, that's KG9DK. Name is John, the county is Bartholomew County. Good evening, Joe, and the rest of the net.
John, good evening. Any others? Alpha through Lima, please. Zulu for the BC Aries Net, please. This is K9OPL, the BC Aries Net. Let's try it again. Mike through Zulu, suffixes, call signs. Anyone who'd like to check in?
Kilo 9, Romeo, Mike Romeo, repeat, K9RMR, Randall and Rueff, Taylorsville, Bartholomew County. Good evening, everybody on the net. I do have to be short time this evening, though. I got stuff going on. Hope everybody has a good evening.
Okay, we got K9RMR requesting short time. This is K9OPL. Let's go with the entire alphabet. Anyone who would like to check in, please call now.
KD9QPN, Kilo Delta 9, Quebec, Papa, November.
Alpha through Zulu. Anyone, anywhere. Right, so far, this is K9OPL, the BC Aries Net. I'll go back to the top of the list, and perhaps we'll get some additional check-ins as we move along here. We'll go back to KG9DK. John, for comments.
This is KG9DK. Good evening again, Joe, and the net. I think this August weather might be detracting from your report ends. It is awful nice out there the last several days, and for August anyway. I'm still struggling with my FT70 programming. I got the Columbus repeater programmed into it and put it in memory, and I think it works. I don't know. I'm going to look into doing the software programming and see if that might be a little easier to do. It's just a matter of doing it enough times that it gets to be easy, and I'll put that word easy in quotation marks. Other than that, I've been just sort of enjoying the weather and trying to work through some of these projects I've got, and that's about it. Back to you, net control. Back to you, Joe. This is KG9DK.
Okay, very good, John. Well, depending on whether or not you have the programming cable and the RT Systems software, that makes it a heck of a lot easier. If you don't, the software that you can get free for the FT70DR is good, but the shenanigans you have to go through to connect it with the USB cable that they give you is really ridiculous. But once you get it connected and going, it works fine. It's just a real strange sequence of events that you have to go through to get it to connect to the computer. I do program it that way, since it doesn't have any audible feedback to help me, since I can't see the screen. I really have to do it by computer, and I'm able to do it, but like I said, it's a little bit of a pain in the neck. I can't believe they did that and expected people to do that. But anyway, thanks for being there, John, and good luck with that. Anything I can do to help you, give me your shout since I have it. So next up, KD9QPN. Mike, your turn.
K9OPL from KD9QPN. Evening, Joe, and everybody, I guess all 3 or 4 of you on the net. Just curious, I did try to call in a couple of times, I think unsuccessfully, so if you only heard my call once, it was my 3rd attempt, so not entirely sure what that was about, but anyway, I got through, so that's what counts. Just reading over the Laurel VEC paperwork, and I'm going to let Mr. Tanksley know that I think I'm almost prepared to be a VE, but that's about it. Having a wonderful work week and looking forward to the downhill side of it. So that's it for me. This is KD9QPN, back to net control.
Okay, well, unless I keyed up over you or something like that, I don't know. I didn't hear any other calls than the one that you gave, but your last transmission is 100% just now. So I don't know what the other was all about. I can't really explain it. As for me, not a lot going on. I'm keeping busy and been kind of fighting something with sinuses, I think, and it's been kind of affecting the hearing in one of my ears, which I'm looking very much forward to that going away and getting back to normal. But work-wise, just the normal, keeping busy. Not on call this week, so it's a little bit more settled down for me. And my XYL has a birthday coming up, so I'm going to get to celebrate with her. It's actually tomorrow, but I'm taking off Friday because that's the day she'd like to go out, so that's what we're going to do. This is KA9OPL with the BC Areas Net at the bottom of the current list, but we will stand by. If we have any others who'd like to join us, please call.
K9JJ, Kilo 9, Juliet Alpha, Juliet, Jeff, Bartholomew County.
K9RPB, Kilo Delta 9, Romeo Papa Bravo, Bruce, Bartholomew County.
And the other half of the net control tag team, K9JAJ, and we got KD9RPB. So we'll start with you, Jeff. Good evening. Your turn for comments.
This is K9JJ. Good evening, Joe, John, Mike, and Bruce. Thanks for joining us. And let's see, Mike, KD9QPN, I too only heard you check in once. There was no doubling that I was able to see or hear. But you're coming through loud and clear, so who knows? Maybe it's just a poltergeist in your mic, but you're working fine now. As to John, keep plugging away on that FT70. I haven't really, I've got a couple frequencies programmed into mine, and it's kind of a bit of a pain in the you-know-where to do it manually, but I've got a couple other HTs that are already pretty well programmed, so I'm holding off on purchasing the RT Systems software to do it the easy way, but keep at it. And like Joe said, if you need help, call him because he's really good at that stuff. And let's see, how do you do there, Bruce? Good to see you. Have you, hopefully you'll make it to the next VE testing session and get your feet wet doing that. Sounds like Mike's about ready to go take the plunge as well. Let me reset. Joe, you're fighting that sinus stuff. Welcome to the party. I missed a couple days of work last week, Thursday and Friday. Couldn't go in. Luckily, I had the weekend to pad on the next few days. Went back to work Monday. Didn't feel 100%. Went back to work Tuesday. Maybe 70%. Went back again today. Feeling a little better, but still got a way to go. And Terry's a few days behind me on her recovery, so it's been some slow moving around here at the JAJQTH. But anyway, I've rattled on enough. Thanks for doing the net this week, Joe, and we'll turn it back to you, K9JJ, to back to net control.
All right, well, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know what's really going on because I normally don't get this, and it really kind of freaked me out a little bit, to be honest with you, when I started losing hearing in that one ear. Hopefully it's going to come back quickly and normally, but I'm going to get checked on just to make sure. Prayers came first, and then we'll see if they need to give me anything else. So next up, K9RMR, Bruce. Good to hear you in there. Your turn.
Good evening, Joe, and everybody else on the net. This is K9RMR. Yeah, the sinus thing's been going through my family. And my wife's kind of had a touch of it on and off the last week or so. I think we're on the downward slide here, or the upward slide, however you want to look at it. We're getting better for sure. Jeff, I probably will not be making it to the VE testing. I think we're going to try to get out of Dodge, which we've needed to do for the last 3 or 4 years. We haven't had a vacation, so we're going to leave for almost 2 weeks, going to head out and try to do a western swing, maybe play a little radio and some park-to-park stuff if I feel like I can do that, and just kind of take some downtime to get through this. We've had 5 close friends pass away in the last month, and we just need some time off from that kind of garbage. So other than that, not really doing anything. I will mention that Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the last race is coming up next week, so if you're wanting a certificate or anything, then we need to call into that. And with that, I'll send it back to net control, K9RMR.
Okay, very good, Bruce. We'll miss seeing you, but certainly do hope you guys have a great vacation. Everybody needs some of that R&R going on. I think I'm going to need some here pretty soon. But I'm looking forward to a 3-day weekend, this one, and get to take the wife out and go out and have a good time. We're at the bottom of the list once again, my friends, so let's stand by. This is the BC Aries Net, and this is K9OPL Net Control. Anyone else who'd like to join us, call now, please. The small group that gathered tonight, appreciate everybody's participation, and look forward to the next one. Jeff will be in the big chair next week. And This is K9OPL. We're going to call at about 7:48 local time. And I'll stand by just for one last in case there's anyone else out there or any rechecks. This is K9OPL. Last call. I want to thank the Columbus Amateur Radio Club for the use of the repeater. At this time, I'm going to close net, return that repeater to normal amateur use. Good evening, everybody. 73s from K9OPL.
Yeah, this is K9RMR. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Bruce, just curious, you mentioned the Motor Speedway and calling in to get a certificate. What, can you give me the Cliff's Notes version on that?
Yeah, just a second here. Let me pull something up real quick and I'll get you some notes on that. Go on to QRZ. You can go on W9IMS, Whiskey 9, India, Mike, Sierra, and that tells you everything in there. They already had 2 call-ins from 2 previous races. I just happened to find it by accident and was able to call into the first one, so I thought, well, I'll call into the other 2, which is kind of cool. So, back to you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm looking at it now, so that'll be interesting. So I'll try to do that this weekend. Needed something else to do this weekend besides all the chores I was probably supposed to be doing anyway. All right, thank you very much, Bruce. Have a good evening, and if I don't talk to you again before you get to vacationing, safe travels and enjoy. And we'll wish you 73 and talk again later. This is KD9QPN clear.
On what the propagation is. Sometimes it's easy to get into them, and other times you can barely hear them. So the last time I checked in, it took me a couple days to actually get through during the day. So just to let you know. So KD9RPB, I'm clear.